3.3. Tabang and his friends have accidentally thrown their favorite ball in the neighborhood tree. AB represents the height of the tree. DB represents the distance from the ground to the ball. And CB is the distance between Tabang and the base of the tree. Okay, so now we have this figure to represent the scenario, right? And they're giving us dimensions here. They're giving us 25 angles. They're giving us this angle. They're also giving us the 15 meters and giving us the 25 meters. Alright, so first things first, we need to see that AB is a straight line and BC is also a straight line. And so because we have these two straight lines over here, they would make a 90-degree angle with each other. And now with that 90, we have a bunch of options available. We have Pythagoras and we have our trig ratios as well. So with that, we can now figure out anything related to this question. So they're asking us to determine the length of AC, which is this one, right? And now that you have this right angle, you can see that AC is your hypotenuse, right? And so to find the length of AC, we just need to do a simple substitution of values. Okay, so the length of AC is calculated to be 29.15 rounded off to 2 decimal places. So you need to have your reason there, Pythagoras, and then your answer of 29.15, and then your next step should be to fill in that value of 29.15 meters. Righto. Next question. Calculate angle C2. Now angle C2 is down here, okay, and it's in a smaller rat. So let's just take a second and see where we have right angle triangles. So the first right angle triangle is the small one down here, okay, and then the second right angle triangle would be the entire triangle, the whole of A, B, and C, right? Now the one that is not a rat would be this blue area. That is not a right angle triangle because this angle here is larger than 90 degrees, okay? And so now that you know there are two rats to work with, that opens up 2 sets of Pythagoras and 2 sets of trig ratios that you can use. Okay, so now that we've established all the rats, I've cleaned up the drawing and now everything is a little nicer. So angle C2 is down here bottom left, okay? And angle C2 also forms part of angle C, right? It's a portion of angle C. And now if we want to just focus on angle C2, we would be working in the smaller right angle triangle BCD, the one in the bottom, right? But in order for us to find angle C, we need to have at least 2 things. We have one side, but we don't have DB. We don't know the length of DB, and so we cannot use the small triangle to find angle C because there isn't enough things that are known to us. However, if we go ahead and work in the big rat, right? If we focus on the big rat, we can find the entire angle C because we have this side and this side. And once we have the size of angle C, then angle C2 would just be that value minus 25. And so we are going to work in the big triangle to find the whole angle C. So we say in triangle ABC, right? We are going to work with the sides that are known, right? So remember my questions are, what do you have? What do you want? And what can you use, right? You have 2 sides, you have the adjacent, you have the opposite, right? Here's the adjacent, here's the opposite. What do you want? You want angle C. And what can you now use? What you can use when it comes to adjacent, and opposite is tangent. So we are going to say tangent of angle C is going to be opposite over adjacent, and so tan of angle C is going to be the purple triangle, 25 over 15, and then we solve this, right? So at angle C would be the following, and so we just need to go ahead and work this out. So I'm getting an answer of 59.04 degrees for angle C. So this entire angle is 59.04, okay? That is with the 25. And so now, because we have the whole angle, angle C2 would be 59.04 minus the 25 degrees, which we already had. And so angle C works out as 34.04 degrees. Okay, and this is logical because, as you can see, C2 looks like it's a bit bigger than the 25. So this is 34.04 degrees for angle C number 2. Okay, final question is to calculate the length of AD. So let's just pinpoint AD quickly. AD is the segment here between this point and this point, right? Now, as mentioned a few minutes ago, there are only two right angle triangles that you can work with, and AD happens to be part of the one that is not a rat, this portion here, right? So we can't use any trig ratios in the orange triangle, but we can use it in the large triangle and the one that's here at the bottom, okay? And so by looking at the positioning of AD, AD is a portion of this entire 25, right? So if you can just figure out DB, then you can just say that AD is 25 minus DB, because there is no other option, okay? And so our first move here would be to state that AB is AD plus BD, right? Everything we just said, just written out. These are D's, not O's. And so for us to get AD, we need to take AB, right, which is our 25, and then we just have to subtract BD, right? That is our game plan here. And so our first step now would be to find the length of BD, and BD is in this little triangle here at the bottom, right? In this triangle, let's ask ourselves, what do you have? You have the angle, right, C2, and you have the adjacent side in the rectangle, the adjacent. What do you want? You want the opposite side. You want the opposite side. So now what can you use? Using adjacent and opposite, we need to use tangent, okay? And so we say that tangent of angle C2 is the opposite, which we want, BD, over the adjacent, which is 15. Now I've shown you that with these calculations you want to put it into a triangle, and so therefore tangent of your angle C2 is BD over 15, and so BD would just be 15 tan of angle C2, okay? And then we just write this, fill this in on our calculators, type this in. This was 34.04, and then we find that BD is equal to 10.13 meters, right? BD is 10.13 meters, and so now we can find AD with that little sum we have, and so AD is just going to be 25 minus 10.13, which gives us an answer of 14.88 meters. And there we have the answer for the entire 3.3. Thank you for watching.